Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kathy Jarvis, and today I am going to work on breaking the ground for a new flower bed. I know I got 20 flower beds, and this will make 21. I have no idea why I keep doing this, but I enjoy flowers, I enjoy vegetables, and I just keep adding. And I guess I'll add until I can't control and can't handle all of them. Then I'll start cutting back. Anyway, breaking ground for this new little, it's going to be a cut flower bed. When I can come and just cut the flowers I want and take inside. And I don't really have any of those. So most of my flower beds are either spring flowers or ornamental for like around the house. Ones I want to keep looking pretty all the time. And this one is going to be seen by the road. Maybe it's not going to be seen from the house. And I'll see it from the greenhouse. So it's a perfect spot, nice and sunny for a cut and grow flower garden. Now this is going to be an in-bed garden. And I'm doing it the old-fashioned way. I started out with a shovel, didn't get very far, and then I remembered my dad's old hand-pushed manual tiller, and that's what I'm going to use to do this bed. And it's a lot of work, but it works wonderfully. I just can't justify buying a tiller for this small area. And once I get it planted, most of them will be perennials that will keep growing year after year, and I won't have to do this except for the little areas that I am going to put the annual seeds in. I can't believe that my dad used to do our whole garden with this. I can see now why he was so happy when he finally got the tiller. It's quite a workout. Does a wonderful job. And I'm just hoping that this bed is going to be big enough for the flowers I have planned on planting. I'm going to put both perennials and annuals in this area. And I'm a no-till person, but this had grass in it that needed to be tilled up. So did this yesterday, I'm doing it again this morning, just to roughen it up. Going to take a rake over it and rake up all the clumps, and then hopefully I'll get this planted today. So I will finish this and we'll be back with you when I get ready to rake it out. Okay, I got it tilled down to the size I think I want it. So the next thing I'm going to do is take this rake and get these high spots out and try to level it off as much as possible. And it doesn't have to be exact because this isn't a vegetable garden. It's just going to be for cut flowers. But I don't want high spots that the seeds will wash away when it rains. And then once I get it leveled, I will come back in and I will pull all the clumps of grass that you see like this. I'll pull them out, toss them in the yard so they can take root in the yard. So that's the next step, is just to level this out. Okay, the next thing you need to do after you've leveled it all off is decide what you want to do as far as defining your edges and making your paths. So what you do is you decide where you want your edges going to be, You reach in as far as you can comfortably, make a trench, and that's as far as you can reach all the way around. Then you come and you make yourself a small little path in the center, just enough to walk into, and you do the same thing. You reach in, and then that tells you how far to make your final path. So mine's going to be like this, and this is going to be mainly a garden for the bees. So I'm going to put a bee feeder here, and then just put some little pavers here, and then plant it out. So I will see you when I get ready to plant. Alright, the first thing I need to do is decide the center of this garden. And I have to decide where the bee bath is going to go. So the first thing I need to do is take and find out how wide the bath is going to be and place it where I want it. Find the center so I can decide where I'm going to put the hoe. Mark where I want to dig the hoe at and get the post hoe diggers and start digging this hoe. Now this hoe will be about 12 to 18 inches deep into the ground. I decided on 18-inch deepness, and what you need to do is put everything set up to make sure it's the level, make sure it's the right height. I wanted mine to be just tall enough that the animals wouldn't be tempted to get into it, like the raccoons and deer and stuff. But I also wanted it to be tall enough that when the flowers bloom, I can still see the bees working. So the next thing I need to do is fill in around the base of the post. So take the top off and put it to the side. Now there's hose in the top of the pipe, and there's hose in this, that's an old sled. There's hose in it, so I will use those to secure it together after I get it straightened. Now make sure your pipe is level and fill in the dirt, keeping it level at all times. Now this used to be out in the backyard, but I moved it out here. So we're going to fill in the hose. Okay, now you gotta make sure that's still level and the right height for everything, and push in the dirt really well, pack it in, and this should be deep enough that it shouldn't move around. Push it in good. Now I plan on planting flowers right underneath of it, so we don't have to worry too much about how level it is. In fact, I'm going to mount up just a little bit. That way they'll soak in and maybe go down a little bit as the rain hits it. Clean off the top really well before you go to the next step. And get some string. Now I'm going to put the string through those two holes that I have in the pipe here. Make sure it's clean. We're going to tie one end of the string to the hoe that's in the sled rim. Now, the reason I'm doing this is when I put the glue and everything on there, this will help hold it in place as the glue sets. I'm pushing it through the other hoe on the rim, and that way it'll come off to the side. I'm going to use a all-purpose cement that's made for plastic, and it sets fairly quickly, but you have to put a lot on for it to work. Now I'm going to center the sled onto the top of the PVC pipe and secure the string through the hoe on the other side and tie it off. And this will hold it in place as the glue dries. Plus I'll push down on it for a little bit just to help make sure I got all the air bubbles out. I'm going to stand back and look at it, make sure it's level, make sure it's the height I want, and push down the center, get all those air bubbles out. And then I leave it. Hopefully it'll dry. While that's drying, I'm going to start working on the pavers. Now, one thing that's nice is to get all your materials together at once so you don't have to go looking for them. So, level out the ground. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just make sure your area where the stones are going to go are level. I'm planning on playing thyme between the stones. So level that off, pick up your pavers. It's only going to take about 2. And I just kind of flop them down. They're not level yet. Just for the spacing, make sure they're right. You don't want to step on them at this point. When they're uneven like this, you step on them, you could break them. Step back, look at them, make sure that everything's the way you want it, and then you continue to level them. Okay, it's been a few hours. It's had a chance to dry, so now we're going to finish the bee back. And to do that, we have to add some good-sized rocks to it. reason you add the rocks is because the bees have to have something to land on so they don't drown when they're getting water. So we're not going to fill this boat to the top. We're just going to put enough in to enough water in so the bees have something to drink. And this will also help to stabilize this and keep it from blowing in the wind as much. Any large rocks that you have. You can even use marbles. Depends on how decorative you want it to be. And then I build a few up extra high for larger bees. Now I've already mapped out how I want this to look. And basically, I don't want to go with the single rows. I'm going to go with more of a cottage effect. And this is how I'm going to do it. And of course, you can't see it, so I will show you a screenshot in just a second. Okay, now what we have to do is mark off the spots that I'm going to put the plants in. And I'll do that with a stick just to map out where I'm going to plant everything. And then we'll start planting. I'll start with the sunflowers and the dahlias. Now sunflowers I'm transplanting from ones I had in the house. They got a little leggy, so I'm not sure if they're going to grow. So I'm going to also add some seeds. The dahlias are bulbs that I bought, so I'll be planting those. And we'll speed it up a little bit so you don't have to spend so much time watching it. So I'm going to plant a herb here, zinnia here, some petunias, some poppies, lupins, Shasta daisies, Canterbury bells, poppies, hollyhocks, more Shasta daisies, more poppies, a lupin, glads, more sunflowers, coleus crust here, marigolds, nasturtiums, and that's what this is going to be. So, I am going to finish planting this, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you've learned something. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost anything. Hit the bell icon. That way you'll know when I'm on next. And remember, dream big. Follow that dream. Bye.